Hi folks, this is Kenneth Price, and I'm gonna post another video for the withdrawal community. It's Sunday morning and I had an inspiration, and it's a valuable inspiration worth sharing. Okay, if you haven't watched my other videos, you know my spiel. I was a man who was once very polydrugged on countless psych meds, including benzodiazepines, 25 years to be exact, and I surrendered all pharmaceuticals, went through a very, very difficult withdrawal, like you're all in right now, made it to the other side, and now I have a ministry. I call myself the psychiatric shaman, and I post videos, and I take outreach calls, and I do a Zoom call once a week to support and encourage others who have made this very courageous decision, and a wise decision, by the way, to exit pharmacology, to exit psychiatry, and get back on the freeway of life. Okay, this morning it came to me that, and remember the way the psychiatric shaman works. He reframes everything. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a therapist, so I don't have advice, any medical advice. I'm here for the people who have already made the decision to go in this new direction, and I offer support because you guys all feel it's scary and you want hope. You need to look into my eyes and see I'm not damaged. I'm a little bit screwy, but I was born an indigo child, so take me as I am, all right? It was the first wave indigo in the 1960s, by the way. Maybe I'll post another video about that. But let's keep to the topic of this video. Okay, I found an actual parable that completely dovetails, that completely correlates to what is taking place right now. And I'm going to put it in the link below. It's a short 2-minute cartoon from Spirit Science. But let's reframe this time and see if we can get leave this benzo withdrawal. Well, I'm getting kind of sick of that narrative. Yeah, we need to define the problem, but as soon as we've established our taper schedules, let's get to a more empowering narrative. And this is the one I've got for you this morning. All right, so here comes the narrative. I'll share with you the short and sweet of the parable. Okay, once upon a time, folks, there was a community of water creatures, and they all clung to the surface of the bottom of the water. They clung to the bottom of the water, folks. They clung to the rocks. They clung to the plants. They were holding on. In this community of water creatures, there was a legend that anybody who let go would die. So they all held on. It's called clinging. And there really was complete stagnation in this community, folks. Clinging and holding on, nothing changed. But as long as they were clinging on to what they believed would provide them safety, they could avoid facing their ultimate fears. This is what happened to us in our parables, folks, is these medications were giving us, buying us time to cling and to hold on for many of us. At least it wasn't the truth in my parable. Psychiatry said, when I went to psychiatry in my youth, with all of my fears, because I was about ready to let go in my youth, but I didn't know how. And the doctors had all these pills which said, we can numb it all out for you. That's not what they said, but in truth, that's what happened. And I became one of those clingers. I held on. As the parable goes, folks, one of the creatures, as always does happen, said, getting dashed against those rocks would probably be less painful than the boredom more than just boredom, than the pain of holding on. This is where many of us found ourselves, folks, is we found ourselves at a crossroads. The pain of letting go of the pharmaceuticals was not going to be as bad as the pain is holding on to our pharmaceuticals. This is where I meet people, by the way. I meet them when they've reached that crossroads, when they've made the decision, it's time to let go. But here's how the parable evolves, folks. Is that one creature who did let go of the rocks and let go of the plants on the bottom, he began to flow with the current, and he got smashed against the rocks like was prophesized. And all the other water creatures, saw him disappear, getting smashed. And they said, oh boy, there goes another one, we lost him. Oh, that's just too bad. He should have listened to us and he should have held on. This is the withdrawal dynamics, folks. When we let go, we get smashed against the rocks. And you all are in what's called a withdrawal, but I would rather that we call it getting smashed against the rocks, because now we've got a parable which actually has some spiritual it's spiritually applicable for what a withdrawal is like. And I got smashed against the rocks too. Yeah. But here's how the parable unfolds, folks. That current is an upward current. And with patience and faith and trust, and the help of videos like this, and all the resources that we're no longer hanging onto the rocks. We're hanging onto our truth. Can you kind of see where the narrative shifts here? All that energy that we use to hang on to the bottom of the river so we're not going to get smashed against the rocks, now just makes a slight shift. We use that energy to hold on to our truth. And I'm here to give you guys the truth, is that the current flows vertically towards the surface. This is what we call windows in this community, is when we get caught in that current. Slowly we reach up and we say, hey, I'm starting to ascend vertically. Not all at once, because sometimes but then we descend back down and get a few more smashes. But the next time, the next window, we ascend a little bit higher. Speaking from experience, by the way. Slowly we begin to notice the patterns, folks. These windows are taking us higher and higher into the current of the river itself. We do reach the surface. Everyone reaches the surface. And this is the way it's been done for thousands and thousands of years, folks. This is why I refer to it as a dark night of the soul. This is why I refer to it as caterpillars to butterflies. This is why I've used the analogy of the dark forest. And this morning I've got one more analogy. Let's make this the fourth analogy. We are water creatures, and we couldn't hold on anymore. And now we feel like we've got no ground and we're being tumbled against the rocks. It truly does feel that way. I'm here to tell you, go inside and hold on to that faith. I'm here to guarantee you that current will lift each person in this community to the surface. I'm going to leave the link to Jordan's video below. Jordan's one of my favorites. As a matter of fact, he's been one of my tools. He was one of my tools in the middle of benzo withdrawal. Brilliant young man, and he's posted videos. He calls them Spirit Science. Love Spirit Science. They're cartoons. Remember, I'm the psychiatric shaman, and the psychiatric shaman is the cartoon character. I probably got it from Jordan, who posted Spirit Science. They're all about cartoons, fun. But seriously, folks, his parables do have a message. And you need to understand that while you're in a withdrawal, you're getting pummeled against the rocks. I was in a withdrawal, and I got pummeled against the rocks. But we need to pan out, forest for the trees, larger picture, above the battleground, and know that the current flows to the surface. And that's where we're all going to see the light of day. Everyone's got to let go. You guys, try not to make this unique to the allopathic medical language that includes things like GABA receptors. If it helps in the beginning to research that, go for it. But after you're done researching that, doing research in this direction is going to take you to the surface a lot quicker. It's also going to ameliorate your fears, which are keeping you, grounded. When we, which is what I do, by the way, when we ameliorate the fears, when we unwind the fears, when we unbelieve in the fears, and you know which fears I'm talking about. Oh, my brain's been damaged. My brain's been damaged. That's going to keep us, that's going to weight us down so we tumble longer than we need to. If we can unwind those, those fears, unwind the hypothesis of damage, then we will ascend much. You can ascend much quicker than I did, is what I'm trying to tell you. I figured it out, folks. I figured it out for you. I did the tumbling so that your tumbling can be halved, and then the person before you can be quarter, and the first person before them can be 1/8. Do you see how exponentially we're all going to move out of this much quicker? You've got to watch the patch parables, and I'm going to put the link in the description below. And this one particular one is at the 12-minute, 40-second mark. And it will dovetail exactly everything I've tried to explain to you in a cartoon. Okay? I'm going to make this video, it looks like it's coming on 12, maybe 13 minutes. This is my gift to the medically injured community on Sunday morning. And the slogan of the psychiatric shaman. And if you don't know the slogan of the psychiatric shaman, me, my dream character, it's that you've not been damaged. You've not been damaged. Because who you are, nope, who you are can't be damaged. That's my spiel. It's more than my spiel, it's my truth. If you hear that from a New Age life coach, you're going to say, you walk a mile in my shoes. Well, you're not hearing it from a New Age life coach. You're hearing it from someone who's walked a mile in your shoes. And I'm here to come back so that you don't have to walk a mile. You only have to walk half a mile. As a matter of fact, you don't need to walk that half a mile. But for right now, you're going to walk half a mile, so the person coming after you is only going to have to walk a quarter of a mile. Are these visuals working? Are my parables helpful? Is even this ministry, getting through? I need your feedback. I'm not charging any money for this, and I'm doing this because I've been. If you watch my video on my spirit guide, I get these hunches from my spirit guide. Her name is Marcia, and she's the one who tells me to sit down and post these videos. I need your help, folks. Put your comments below. Tell me what you can hear, what's helpful, what you want to hear more of. Okay? I do this because I was in a frightening withdrawal. I was close to suicide. And the calls that I get are from people who are in that same place. And it's not necessary. It's painful, it's frightening, and I'm here to share with you a higher truth. And that's basically my role in my ministry. Okay? That's going to be my 14, maybe coming on 15-minute video for a Sunday morning. Okay. I do outreach calls, Zoom calls so far every Sunday morning Pacific time at 9 a.m. They're harnessing great traffic on the internet. And it was something, I'm going to keep doing it. That's my invitation to you to join us 9 a.m. Pacific time Zoom on the Zoom call. I'll post a link to the Zoom call in the description below. And I also take one-on-one FaceTime calls if this rings true. And I offer encouragement. That's my gift. I offer encouragement. I don't have any magic pill to take the rocks away that are on the bottom that we all have found ourselves tumbling on. But I offer the inspiration so that you can now this is a hard one, and I'm sure you've heard it by now. Everyone's telling you, surrender into this. It's kind of a fuck me moment, by the way. Surrender into this when we actually feel ill, and we're and remember, I deal with the psychological and the spiritual protection. So that's my specialty. The psychological and the spiritual component is where I come into play. To surrender and allow the psychological and spiritual dark night of the soul is the role of the psychiatric shaman. I do that by shedding light and giving you these videos and truly coming back with a message that you might not hear from anyone else, but maybe if you hear it from me, it'll sink in. Nothing's going wrong, folks. Hear me out. Nothing's going wrong. Okay? From the worldview of the water creatures on the bottom, from the worldview of their worldview, remember, they're looking at you and they're getting tumbled on the rocks and they're saying, something's going wrong. Our friend let go and he's getting pummeled. That's their worldview. I'm coming from the worldview of someone who's seen the surface. This is your choice point, folks. If you want to look at the worldview of the water creatures and believe what they're believing, because they're still clinging, from their worldview, something's gone wrong. I don't share in that worldview. There's my spiel. It always goes on longer than I'm supposed to. And the other thing I like to do in these videos, if you can just see that I'm happy, then that's more of a light up. It's not like I can help you. I'm so thrilled and excited for you that I get to love you. And when you see that someone outside truly does love you, you guys are opening my heart, by the way, then you're going to start loving yourself. Love yourself is what generates the buoyancy. Self-love, folks. This one's going to come on almost 18 minutes. You're all going to be fine. I'm not damaged. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. I love you all. God bless. Kenneth Price for the Medically Injured Community on Sunday morning. Bye.